everybody. And Eugene, would you start us opening us in prayer?
I thank you, Father, for this another beautiful day. Lord, just be with each and every one that's here. Be with the ones that are not up here, that are sick or something's wrong with them. Be with the people that have had COVID, Lord. Now be with Susan, she's had problems with her family. Lord, just be with her. And Art has a bad back. Just might as well go ahead and try to heal him. Lord, just be with each every one that's here to make a decision. Bless this park board. Now go with each and every one of us so we go home. Thank you and amen. Amen.
Next on the agenda is to adopt agenda. Do I have a motion on the floor to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next is approval of the minutes from May 20th, 2021. Do I have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved as presented.
Motions on the floor to approve the minutes as presented and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is public comment. We have Matt Fitzwater here from Locals, a new restaurant here in Summersville, and he wants to talk about doing a festival here. Matt?
Yeah, it's just that. My partner and I, Andrew Woods, were talking about doing a country music festival. Came up and talked to James and see what it would take. So we've gone through a lot of channels, spoke with the mayor, spoke with the ABC. I hear that we got approval to actually throw the festival itself. The next thing was just to make sure that we can have alcohol here. It won't be liquor, we're not going to allow anything like that, but usually people that come to a country music festival want to drink a beer. So I've already spoke with American Beer Company, and they will sponsor us. We're trying to get some big name bands to come here in Summersville, trying to fill up the hotels, fill up the restaurants, and just do something cool for this town and try to do it every year. We kind of want to make it something like a Bonnaroo, a Coachella that happens every year and brings people to Summersville and kind of puts the town on the map a little bit. That's really it. I mean, it was, we are going to have our insurance. I'm licensed through the ABC, and it can extend to any event that I do. We're going to have the Sheriff's Department help us out. We're going to have private security, and it will be our responsibility. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, and with you selling beer, I know this was an issue several years ago with beer being sold on the park, and I think the county commission ruled at one point about not letting us sell beer, or may have been a park. I'm just not real sure on that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to double check with the county commission, make sure that they don't have a problem, and then the board sees fit. That's the only problem I actually see.
Okay. I've gone as the county commission, Gary Whitney, right? Is he?
No, that's the city.
That's the city. Oh, gotcha.
The
Okay.
county commission is Garrett Cole, Chapman,
Craig
Trey Chapman, and Odette.
Okay. All the only people I spoke with again has been the ABC and Mayor Schaefer, and they're like,
Yeah.
just thumbs up on our half.
Green light.
Yeah.
Right at the moment, though, they sell beer over there at the
Golfers.
golf course. Well, they're not allowed to take it out of there. They're not allowed to take it out that door or go that way. The only way they can,
Yeah, as long as it's on the course.
it's on the course. You can't bring it out there. Now that, I don't know if they made a ruling.
Well,
And as for us, that would be the same way because they say if you rent the park, you're responsible for the park. If the beer comes off the park and somebody gets a DUI and gets into an accident, that's your responsibility.
Right.
So that's
Yeah, and the reason I know part of this is because the county fair wanted to have we actually had a deal to bring in a name brand entertainer, and we were gonna use the stadium, and there were some people in the county that absolutely threw a fit at that time, and that's been
20 years.
20, more than 20 years ago, about 25 years ago, and they changed some rulings, so like I say, we will have to check with the county
Does
commission.
how about the rafters?
Rafters do not sell alcohol.
Yeah, they bring their own.
Well, that's what I mean, do they?
They bring in their own coolers. It's not sold
Yeah,
on the park
right.
property. Don't ask me, there is
Well, you know,
don't ask me, it's a difference. I don't know what it is. But it's never been sold.
how long are you wanting to have it for? I mean, nights or days or?
2 days.
2 days. 2 nights of music?
Yep, 2 nights of music. We're going to do Friday and Saturday. We were going to use your big stage, and then we were going to do acoustic music on the little area down by the river that has that little fire pit and the small wooden stage. So people back and forth. We're going to bring in only local vendors. So we're going around to Maloney's
When are you wanting to do this?
mid-August,
This year?
2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
So I did approval real quick here.
Next August, no
Next
longer.
year, oh, okay.
Well, gives plenty of time to work on it, too.
Well, what about camping or what?
It seems like what that open area down.
I mean, he may want to,
And that's what the Dolly Fest does. 90% of their people camp here. And they took, actually when they rented the whole park, but maybe, we don't get anything feedback on the camping, but we do sell ice and firewood. Maybe we can do something, work out, I guess, live on camping or something like that.
Truth be told, like camping wasn't the first thing in my mind because all the open area, we were hoping to use it for parking. We wanted to be a big thing, and we were even discussing having buses do shuttles like to La Quinta, to to the hotels, and in that yeah. So we were going to try.
what's the
that.
name of it?
We don't know yet.
That's
Work in progress.
It's all work in progress. We needed to get this. This is kind of the last thing that we need as far as approval goes, and once that happens, we're going to move forward.
County Commission meets in 2 weeks.
I spoke to them yesterday. I talked to Patty yesterday. And I had checked with Maryland as to when they got their alcohol license, which was in May of 16. Patty she has and is researching the minutes to see if there was any controversy, why, what the argument was, if there was any. According to Patty and the commission, they don't know of any law or reason why their alcohol can't be sold here.
I just know that it was Charlie Daniels that we were going to bring in. And, there's a lot of people who like to listen to Charlie Daniels and drink beer. And they just said, no alcohol sales.
I don't know what the ruling is from the golf course,
What are you looking for tonight? Approval, subject to to consent by the county commission that you can sell beer?
Well, I mean, I haven't went to the county commission. I didn't know that was going to be an obstacle. The only people I've talked to has been James, the mayor, and the ABC. And I didn't know if there was any exterior, obstacles that we had to overcome. But as far as them, they were just like, no, you're good. Like when I spoke with the mayor and told him, I want to do a festival, I want to have music, and I want to sell alcohol, and he went, you're going to do that. You're selling alcohol, you want to have a festival. And it was like, you have no choice anymore, I want you to do that. So I didn't realize, I didn't know how many levels it goes up or what needs to
Just
be
want to
done.
get it knocked out so it's legit.
Just a little history. City controls this.
Mhm.
County commission owns the property. The park board governs what goes on, but the county commission owns the liability for the park.
Okay.
So if we're gonna do something major like this, I just feel that we need to get an okay through the county commission.
Absolutely, I don't want to be halfway through planning and then find out
Yeah.
there's a monkey wrench in it, so I want to get every approval of anything that would ever stand in the way, so.
Yeah, it would just be with them, because like I said, they do hold the liability insurance on this, so, you know, I don't want to say, oh yeah, sure, come on and.
Sure. And if there's anything you need us to do, we are pretty gung-ho about this. I grew up here. I went to Nicholas County High, and I've been gone for almost 20 years, and I came back. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna help the community out. I started a restaurant. Again, I'm speaking with the mayor about putting murals up around town. The whole idea is to get people off the 19 and come into our town and patronize our restaurants and patronize our businesses and just kind of give Summersville a different name. I get really sick of hearing people going, yeah, we go there, we go to the lake, it's awesome, and then we head to Fayetteville to get something to eat. It's like,
Yeah.
it gets old.
Yeah.
So trying to give it a little bit of identity. So that's the plan.
Should we vote on whether or not the location is available and whether or not we agree with alcohol sales? So at least they can go to the county commission to say we've got and it's not a ping pong back and forth.
It's very good.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, we can make ours conditional upon their agreements or agreements with it. At
yeah.
least they can say, hey, you know, we spoke with the park board, they gave us to go ahead, and you're the final say.
As far as August, usually August is pretty open.
I think most of the reason that they didn't want to go that way, you got Little League over here. Kids, people going, come over here buy beer and then going to the Little League game
Right.
Yeah.
with a little bit
Well,
of.
we're kind of wasn't playing around when there would be nobody.
Yeah, they were back there.
We're flexible on our dates. If there's an event that's already planned.
Yeah, but they'll be going to that time, or all this stuff.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
they'll be back in school and the pool should be closed, but are you planning more all day or evening,
All day for 2 days.
all day for awesome.
Yeah, it's a music festival, and I've, just as far as local people go, I have about 15 bands that are interested. And what happened that even that started this whole thing was, I reached out to Tyler Childers. He's pretty big, and
Yep.
I offered him a substantial amount of money to play at my restaurant, and he was like, they're like, you don't even come close. Like, that's not gonna, Tyler doesn't come out to that much, so they gave me a price on how much it cost, and I said, I'm gonna get this guy, and he's coming.
Who is it?
Somehow, some way. His name is Tyler Childers. He's a folk country singer. He's pretty big.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get him. So that's how this whole festival kind of transpired.
And in order to book him, you need an agreement from us.
Well, in order to book him, I need the revenue
Yes.
coming in, so people buying tickets, and I can't fit 5,000 people in my restaurant in order for me to pay for that. So
The other thing we would have to agree on, I don't know if we want to do that now, is fees, percentages, however that's going to roll. You know, so they know what they're looking at as far as park fee.
We can put all that in the user agreement as well.
We could, give approval or consent
Yes.
contingent upon the county commission.
Yeah.
And I would I'd love to see it happen myself.
I need a motion.
I don't
Hold
know,
on a second.
Wait a minute.
Just a little more background on here on the park property. I was on the board some time, many years ago, and there was one or two people at the golf course, and there was one or two people on this board that were adamantly dead set against any alcohol of any type. But then the hypocrites would be in their little clubhouse room, and they'd have their dinner with alcohol. But anyway, that was the rule, and unless you brought it yourself over there, they didn't have any. And here, of course, same deal. If you were coming in for a picnic or something, bring your own, but it wasn't permitted per se. But there was never any rule that was pressed forth on paper saying, here's a rule. So, and those people are no longer on the board, so,
Thank goodness.
yeah, so there's,
Even Mayor Schaefer told me it's not gonna be a slam dunk,
yeah, sure.
but there's really no, I mean, there's no reason that it shouldn't happen. It's, you know, festivals happen, people have fun, people drink alcohol, and if you don't like it, don't go.
Then there goes smoking pot.
Out of my control, we will not be selling marijuana.
It's gonna be living before long anyway.
Just a question, how are you going to control the gate? I mean, we are, I hate to say it, we are a public park, so there's going to be people that's going to get offended when they pull in and say they can't come or walk or run or, you know.
I mean, I was just under the impression that if you were renting out the park, we wanted the entire thing.
Absolutely.
We want, and we were going to put a gate up, and we're going to have private security that will be there collecting tickets. As far as people just coming in, usually when there's a massive amount of people, they'll go, I think this place is occupied right now. So
There's really no difference between what he's wanting to do in the Golly Fest as far as crowds and
Yeah,
the whole park and.
Correct.
But Dolly Fest took tickets down at the gate.
4-H gate.
Yeah,
Well, they could do,
I mean, down at like the dining hall.
Yeah,
So
down
people
here,
were still allowed to come in.
down to this gate down here at the,
that's what your fair does as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
I mean, I figure,
So,
I don't see us selling out online, like our tickets would be sold online. I'm sure there would be people that could just drive up and come in, just like they would the fair. I don't know if it's free to just get into the fair either, I think
No.
they pay.
No.
So we would have, you pay for parking, pay to come in, and
Yeah,
how many rooms you want.
that front gate, right off the main road.
That's what we had talked about before.
We even looked at the photo that you have in there about, I believe it was an older fair where they,
99.
But-
yeah, they used the baseball field as parking. And we were going to use back behind the stadium. And we were even going to go to the Board of Education to see if they'll allow us to park cars there and do a shuttle back and forth.
So you're talking.
well, at that time, Val, you might have
Yeah.
football practice or something
A
too.
couple hundred.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll try to coordinate anything.
They may be in the stadium too.
Yeah, so they, I mean, if they have a football practice, yeah, I'm sure they will.
Maybe, but they might have,
They're not gonna have the football field done in your school yet.
know what you're talking about, August, but, depending on what time August that it is.
Friday and Saturday.
But
Saturday and Sunday.
Friday.
they won't be practicing on they can make exceptions.
Camping over on Saturday.
Well, that's what I say,
What's that?
Are they camping on Saturday night
all the
also?
Well, we plan to just rent it for the whole weekend. But Friday, we're going to have music. Saturday, we're going to have music. And Sunday, we're going to clean.
I think maybe, I don't
You've
know,
got people to help clean
but
up.
I do know they practice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And
So-
just roughly, how many people are you thinking about? Just, not wildest dreams, but
A few thousand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could give you an answer. Like the goal was several thousand people. The goal was to pack the place. I don't know if you've ever been to any large like Bonnaroo, like Coachella concert, but it's a massive amount
Yeah.
of people. And that's what we're trying to do too.
Sometimes they'll hit 20 or 30,000 people. I mean, when the ones that are built up big.
Right.
big, big.
Yeah.
I want to call for a question, please.
go ahead.
I made a motion.
Motion's on the floor. I asked once and got stopped.
Second,
Motion's on the floor and second. Motion is for,
Permission from this board contingent upon approval of the county commission.
okay.
Satisfactory?
sound good.
Yeah.
Motion's approved, made and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Get permission from the county commission, where will it go then?
Okay. How would I go about doing that?
They go to the courthouse and when you walk in the front door,
Mhm.
it's the first office on your right,
Okay.
it's county commission, and Mary or Patty, either one can sign you up for the agenda.
Okay.
And it's my understanding there won't be another county commission meeting for 3 weeks.
Okay. We're in no rush.
But
Just 2 weeks is the 4th.
Right.
2 weeks
sooner the better.
Sure. I'll go talk to him tomorrow. All good?
Wish
Anything
you
else,
luck.
any other questions you
Hope it
have?
happens.
What's gonna happen, man?
Hope it does.
I like your positiveness.
Well,
And
yeah.
thank you for coming back.
But
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you seeing us out.
Come down
And,
that thing.
I'll reach out to James if I have any more questions, but I'm gonna have a ton of questions. Jennifer, I have your phone number now. I'll reach out to you, with anything, and we'll have a more detailed
Music
plan
festival.
figured out once we have approval.
I thought they had.
You know, how we're gonna do things and what, like, how our operations are gonna
How many goes
happen.
up there?
And I will put a couple of people
Don't
together,
get
and
me
we'll
on
work
that
on
stuff, I
the
can't
general
hear
How many goes up there?
contract
you.
for
The music
that
festival.
weekend.
Okay,
Oh, up here?
Okay.
The-
Just when you use county commission
Nazarene?
rule and
Yeah.
then
the-
nail
Oh,
down
gee, I
the
don't know. Of course.
The fair has a ticket booth, and the park has a ticket booth both, that you can bring up there if you want to use.
I think James showed us that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a small one, it's like a one-man ticket booth, they have a large one, it's, several people can sit in it. And, but either one that you could put up there, because that's what we do for the fair.
yeah,
And stop them as they come in, and then there's a back gate that you'll need to lock after your buses. We usually use it for stock trailers or buses, the big stuff that goes around the back of the stadium
okay.
and comes in, and other than that, you can either put somebody out there in it. You know, you can put a ticket booth at both gates if you want, other than that, to keep it locked, but you do have to keep it, emergency personnel access.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll help you out any way we can.
Okay, that's very, very cool you guys to do that. So. Okay, we'll get out of here.
All right, thank you.
Move the agenda.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Good
I
luck.
have it.
Take care.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda is the financial report. Beginning balance was, for the pool account, was $9,573.94. $600 in rental income, bringing the total to $10,173.97. Payroll was $8,050.88. Maintenance was $203.82. Total expenses being $1,254.70, bringing the balance to $8,919.27. The general account beginning balance was $17,796.46. Rentals was $1,553, bringing it to $19,349.48. Utilities were, power was $289.40, water was $152.58. No bill on Frontier this month. Cell phones was $249.56. Nothing on Nicholas Sanitation or Hope Gas. Payroll was $4,252.70. A refund of $60 for cancellation. Maintenance fees was $623.09. Supplies $115.03. Christmas lights $200. Taxes $2,122. Sam's Club, which should have come out of the pool account, $495.52, bringing the total expenses to $8,559.95, bringing the balance to $10,789.53. Any questions on the financial statement as presented?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Cell phones,
That was 2 months where,
did that,
yeah, we had a mess up on our checks and
you said it was 2 months. since we explained it. Maintenance,
Pardon me?
maintenance,
Maintenance was, water line supplies, and that's the gases on that.
Gasoline for vehicles.
Gasoline for the vehicles in the truck.
okay.
Mower, weed eater.
Yeah,
And
motors.
Christmas lights, it's not Christmas, it's not July yet.
They just canceled the check. They just can't cash the check, I'm sorry.
Right, oh yeah, that's right, one of the winners.
Yeah, one of the winners just cashed the check, so.
Okay, now, Sam's, that's
That's the pool.
pool's expense, right?
Right, the pool needs to, the money needs to be
But shouldn't
transferred.
that be shown on pool?
Well, what happened is the Mary's credit card for the pool, her debit card expired. So she had to use,
Okay, so that will be reimbursed back out.
yeah, reimbursed. I just didn't do it. I'm sorry, I didn't get it done. I've had a few other things on my mind.
All right.
I've got one payroll, $1,000 for the pool. How's that playing out?
11 employees, they had a training period, or 10, no, 11 employees.
10 including Mary.
10 including Mary, and a little bit of training and a little bit of cleaning when they first started, before we found out that
The pump was messed up.
yeah.
So moved.
Motion's on the floor to accept financial report as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Old business. The pool opening date is set for Saturday, June the 19th. We owe James Corbett and his crew from the city a big thank you for coming in on Monday and installing the pump. The pump company from Tazewell, Virginia had a little trouble getting the pieces in. He worked himself overtime on the weekend to get it up here to us on Monday. And I really appreciate everything that James and the city did with helping us get the pump up and going. Really appreciate that.
Question.
Question.
Did we get any help on supporting on the repair, payment of the repairs and so forth?
County Commission and Mayor Schaefer also both said that when the final bill came in, they would help us
Fantastic.
with it. I spoke with both of them, and
Very good.
James didn't have the cost. The bill didn't come with it.
Sure.
So, and the motor was checked out, and it's okay. And so, it come Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. And so he was able to he had to have the motor to put everything in the line and all that, so. And the bill from Doss was
$350.
$350. And that was for him coming, taking it out, taking it to Charleston and checking the motor out, so. But it wasn't on this financial statement. It'll be on the next one. I've got actually budget review on the new business, but it is actually old business. I presented it at the last meeting. You all were going to review it and approve, and get approval for the budget for this meeting.
I'm sorry, I got to repeat this.
The budget,
Okay.
2020, 21-22
Right.
budget was presented at last meeting, and you all were to look over it, and we were to approve it this meeting.
Right.
Could you, so that we can have it in place for July 1st?
This one?
Yes. Question. Do I have a motion on the floor to,
I'll make a motion.
okay, motion's on the floor to accept the budget that was presented last meeting. Do I have a second? Motion seconded. All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carried.
I do have over here on this Thursday regular board meeting, where it says cost of Dawes, it's supposed to be Dawes Electric, you got on there, cross. It's Dawes.
It's DOSS.
It's down there, public comment. May 20th.
On the minutes from last.
Oh, that's Dawes, D-O-S-S.
Oh, it's under executive session. Second paragraph down. I'm sorry, first paragraph, last sentence.
Okay.
C instead of D. Put a D.
Okay, moving on to the new business, and discussing, we've been talking about the pool being open. Mary, Brown has had several questions about whether or not we're going to discount the pool passes, the season passes this year. I told her we would have to discuss it at this meeting and let everyone know. It's, James and I roughly figured out it's a quarter of our year that we lost with the 3 weeks. And
That's a pretty good sized chunk.
yeah, and I don't know that, well, I'm not saying either way. It's up to the board as to what you all decide.
How many season passes anyway sell?
Um,
Ish, like 20 or like a couple hundred or 50 or?
I really don't know. I'd asked Mary short notice to be here. And she had other things for this evening and couldn't come. I am guessing probably maybe 50 season passes.
Okay.
That's a rough guesstimate of it.
How much is it normal? I mean, regular?
200 for family of 4.
And 100 for individual.
There's a two.
Yeah, there's one for 2 as well. I have it in the office.
We lost a quarter of it?
We've lost a quarter of our year,
Yeah, the
yes.
season.
Well, I would just take 25% off of it.
We lost a quarter, well, now.
The swimming.
You
By
lost,
being closed 3 weeks longer
Yeah,
than
you lost
normal.
3 weeks.
25% of the season?
Probably.
I had to think about that too. So if you lost 3 weeks,
12 weeks.
12 weeks is, yeah. I sat there and read the exact same numbers. I'm like, wait a minute. It's a quarter. It's the exact same thing.
And it's not open yet, is it?
No, not yet.
It will be Saturday.
Day after tomorrow.
All fingers crossed.
Right, yeah.
Season passes for an individual is 100. A family of 2 is 175. Family pass of 4 is 225, and additional family members is $25 for additional family members. Now, the sale was $175 for two people, and family of 4 was $225, so we just discounted it
It was, 225 is the regular price, right?
Right, right.
And then, we did
Wait a
200.
minute, I didn't go down far enough. Individuals was $90, family of 2 was $160, family of 4 was $200.
Well, I recommend myself a 25% discount.
No,
Yeah, we probably can't afford it, but it's the right thing to do.
what, how do you figure that 25% of the season's gone?
Well, you start Memorial Day, and that's half of the last week of May. Got June first week, June second week, we're opening on the 19th, that's almost the third week of June. So you've already got at least 3.5 weeks closed. Then you've got July has 4 weeks, and August, last I checked, had 4 weeks.
And then we've only probably got 2.5 weeks of that, depending on when school starts.
Yeah, the lifeguards take off on us, so. Yeah, it looks like pretty close to 25%.
Well, you gotta take into consideration too, there's a lot of pools around now that aren't opening because they can't get lifeguards or whatever, and where are they gonna go?
Here.
A lot of people are pissed at the Corps too.
Absolutely.
Whether that's-
My suggestion is,
I don't say, I say you gotta give them a discount, no. I don't go to-
my suggestion is what we had them on sale for.
What you have, what now?
What we had them on sale for,
How much is that? 20% or 10% or?
90 for individual, 160 for family of 2, and 200 for a family of 4.
So move.
That's reasonable. Second,
motion's on the floor to continue the sale of the pool passes at the discounted rate of $90 for individuals. 2 person is $160, family of 4 is $200, with $25 for each additional member. Motion's on the floor, do I have a second?
sure. Second.
Second, all in favor?
Nah,
Motion carried. Okay,
you didn't ask for opposition.
pardon?
You didn't ask if there was opposition. Did you hear all 6 words?
Oh, I never hear all 6.
Continue on.
Okay, next is on the new business is water rates and the invoices. Gary, you have the floor.
Yeah, that's more all the utilities. I've seen a kind of a huge fluctuation of prices just in this being the 4th meeting. Trying to get those under control, track them, know what's normal, know that if we receive a bill, what's abnormal. I've actually tried to work with local PSDs and have them do that as well. I mean, you know when somebody's using an abnormal amount of water, and to go from whatever we went $1,100 last month to $152 this month, that's a big swing with no really accountability to that. If we have leaks, we can seek credit back from the sewer aspect of things. We can recoup that money, shut off any meters that are not needed. But basically, we have to do an assessment and inventory of what we got, what we're using, what size they are, how much we're paying per month. And then try to make sure, if we can recoup $4,000 or $5,000 a year, I think it's a worthwhile project. But we have to know what's serviced off of each one and why we have 10 meters in the park. That's a lot.
For the water meters?
Yes, ma'am.
I can answer that one real quick. We have a master meter up front, up here. We have a leak down at the 4-H building. We have to shut the whole park down, and it's not feasible to do that because we lose.
But paying $65 minimum on 10 meters, we're paying $6,500 a year. If that's, I don't know what the minimum is in Summerfield. That's $7,000 a year if we use no water.
But for a master meter that would control all of that, we would probably be paying pretty close equal. I checked it when I first came on board because I thought the same thing.
So how much is a 2-inch monthly minimum then? I'm not quizzing you. I'm just saying so. Because there's differences in that. Whether you got 3/4 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 1.5 inch, all that. I don't know that it would be that much. $600 a month for a 2-inch meter to serve off of. My point, it's not to eliminate all 10, but can we eliminate 2 or 3? Can we shut 6 of them down in the wintertime? That's more what I'm looking at.
James asked Matt about that, and I also, we can pull the meter, but we're still going to get a sewer fee. This is water and sewer.
Why would you get a sewer fee if you have no water? You go on vacation, shut it off. Same thing you do with
You still
Kansas.
pay sewer,
Yeah.
You still pay sewer.
even on minimum, yep.
Yeah,
Even on the minimum, you still pay sewer.
Hold on, if you shut that meter off and remove it, there's not a sewer bill because there's not a water
There's
bill.
no water going through it, so you shouldn't have a sewer bill either.
That's what I asked, is what Art just said. If you have no water running through, how can they charge you a sewer bill for something that didn't go through the pipes?
And, because Matthew was over here eating lunch one day in the playground shelter, and I walked up there and I asked him that very question. I said, if we had you guys come down here and shut off the water to, certain buildings, like you guys come down and shut it off and then remove the meter, would we still have to pay a sewage fee? And he said yes.
I've never heard that
He
before in my
didn't, he
life.
didn't go into explanation about why, but he did say yes.
Of course, new sewer projects takes 20 years to pay off, but if you get to work on whatever you're supposed to start. But it was delayed under one of the administration about 2 or 3 years, and it's gonna take about 25 years to pay this new system off.
So if I own a piece of property and I move a house off of it and I shut that meter off, am I gonna receive a bill for sewage?
But you go out and wash your car, you go out and water your flowers.
I
you go out
can't
and
if I don't
your
have
garden. No, I'm saying, here, if you use water on anything, you still charge a sewer fee.
How am I using water if I don't have a meter to actually get water to my house?
Well, I'm telling you.
That's my thing.
In other words, you're saying take the meters out during the winter?
My restaurant's shut off right now. I don't have a sewer bill. I don't get a water bill at all
Where you
until it's
at?
shut off from
Where-
Craigslist.
Craigsville?
Yes, sir.
We're in Craigsville, we're in Summersville.
Those,
Who owns it?
You're
the Craigslist PSD, but they're under the PSC, which is the Public Service Commission, which is a statewide thing, and I'm pretty sure they pretty much all have to abide by the
Yeah,
same
it should be the same.
state regulated.
Yeah.
I can get with Matt and ask him to give me more details about that.
Yeah, actually just go to Culver City office and talk to one of the girls in the water
Yeah,
department.
Amy or Angie can
Yeah.
answer those questions.
I mean, this,
But that's, that's been my complaint
absolutely.
ever since it's been in a new sewer plant. My sewer bill is equivalent to my water bill.
Sewer bill should be
Now, if I
around
wash my car,
1.5 times your
all that
water.
stuff, I don't care, it's still charged like it's worth in the sewer. It's not.
60%.
And I mean, just even with that, we were $1,100 last month, $150 this month.
Well, the reason for that is, and I called and asked them about that, and they said that because they did a remote
I'm on
reading,
septic, I don't give a
they didn't actually come and actually do a reading on the meters, and then when they realized that they overcharged us, that's why the bill was so much different than the last one.
So we got a credit,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so do we have a standard amount that we should normally be looking for water-wise? Well, what I'm looking at here, we had a pool pump go bad. If we get zero help from the county commission or from the city, we would have been in a pinch, in a pickle. So we
Right.
look to reduce our expenditures and try to recoup and build this bank account instead of watching, dwell down slowly but surely. We gotta find a starting point. Mine was just to find something simple and start with that and move forward with it. So I mean, that's,
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
yes, sir. I'm with you on that one. But I mean, we gotta work somehow because we don't, I mean, it's not like, we don't even know the price of this pump.
Also, when you talk to Amy, also check with her on what, and it's maybe a James Corbett
I don't know how we
question
control it.
for what a 2.5 inch meter is. I think that's what we need
Okay.
to serve this.
Gary?
No, not to go to a solo, but if we could regulate what we have 10 meters. I mean, some of those could be shut off for 6 months at a time.
Well, I can say that one of the reasons why that, the water bill was probably so high is, one of the cabins up here, whenever you were talking about asking us to go around and check for leaks, what we found, it was a pretty big leak, substantial. It was shooting out a bowl of water bigger around than my thumb.
Understood.
So, but we finally got that fixed. We actually had 2 leaks. I was gonna cover that in the park report, but, we've actually fixed both of those, and hopefully we'll be able to see,
Yeah, I'm just saying, if something comes in, there needs to be a flag somewhere to say what's going on.
Right.
Not let, going for a month or 2 or 3 or 3 weeks or 2 weeks or
Right.
1 week, or to have some sort of baseline establishment.
Right.
Varying from there, that we do some investigation. I mean, it's like the power of the gas bill was $7,000 or something through the winter, and I mean, if there's no rentals going on and that type of thing, is that normal? Is it that high?
You're more than welcome to come in and look at all of the bills for the last 3 years. It's an open book, anybody can come in and look at them. You're welcome. And I didn't have him copy them because it had been stacked about like this.
Right. But we did, Susan and I, we wanted the same thing, because we got gas bill that was just looked outrageous. So we went back and checked, the previous year, and it was actually right around what it was that time last year as well. So it seems like
Well, the
that.
gas bills, I mean, they charge you a minimum anyway,
Yeah, they're like.
whether you use it or
I'm
not.
not sure.
Right.
Well, I think the last one we had was $7,000. I mean, that's a chunk.
I would have gas now.
I don't either.
Well, when you're talking to heat the dining hall and maybe the 4-H building and James's residence
Pine
Yeah,
Lodge.
Pine
well,
Lodge.
and Pine Lodge, I knew there was another one, and you're paying commercial rates on it, they're gonna bend you over every time.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
I think the nursing home was, it's 32,000 square feet, and I believe I had those set on 65 or 70, it's running about $2,300 a month. I mean, it's high, but not that high, not
Right.
$7,000. And that's a 32,000 square foot building.
And
I mean,
our
that's,
furnaces might be a little bit outdated as well.
Right. And the water heater that is in the dining hall is as big around as this
Yeah,
table.
it's huge.
I did have James shut it off since it wasn't being used, but that thing probably sucks a lot of gas.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, she asked me to go ahead and turn that off since it
And
wasn't
it-
really being used.
It's been
And it's
off
been
for,
off since.
yeah, it's been off what, 3 months?
Yeah,
So you should see a little bit of a decrease.
right.
Right. But, the air conditioners
Make up the difference.
Right.
make up the difference in heating it,
Yeah, you're either heating or cooling, and there's no way around it.
I did read here, I'm sorry, I'm not getting ahead of you, James, but, where all the cabins are on one meter, and they all have their own shut off now, so.
They are all shut off. There is, and well,
We have two that had water in it, and it was only because, for one, the bathrooms at the barn, the women's bathroom was really bad clogged, so, and it was actually causing the men's side to actually back up as well, so I had to end up closing the barn bathrooms down and opening up coal cabin for people to use as a backup restroom. And when we were fixing the leak for the ball field bathrooms, I shut it down and opened up Muddlety cabin so people could use it as a backup restroom. But that's the only reason those two have the water turned on.
But you can turn those back off.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't that?
And that's a reasonable expectation to have, you gotta have bathrooms, so if your
Right.
main bathroom's out of service, make an alternative.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
but I also think that the meter that also services the cabins also services the 4-H in your house.
No, 4-H, or my 4-H in my house they're set up on the same meter. And it's the shut off for it is over there by the animal or the pole barn.
Or,
And it has its own shut off as well. It has its own meter too. But 4-H in the house is on the same one.
and then, but even though we have water on that meter for the pole barn, there's still sewer charge to it.
Right.
So, any other questions, Gary?
I mean,
Okay, James is gonna mention this, I sent out a question on QuickBooks, he had problems with QuickBooks, and that's gonna be in his parks report. I'll just, let you go ahead and do your park report.
Well, we all know that the pump is finally here and installed and working like new. Taxes been paid, park maintenance still going pretty well. We've repainted the speed bumps, parking spots, benches, trash cans. Also repainted some of the porches. There's only 2 cabins that have that back porch on them. We went ahead and repainted those. I just discussed the 2 leaks that we had. I submitted the invoice to the county commission for quarterly contribution as well. So we'll probably be seeing that July 1st, usually the 1st of that next month. And for the QuickBooks, so it was a Thursday of last week. Everything was working fine on QuickBooks. Friday morning, Susan and I had asked Eugene to come in to sign checks. And when I went to log into QuickBooks, it kept on giving me an error message saying that there was a billing issue, that I had to click this link to go do that. So I would do that, but it never really got me anywhere. So I Googled the customer service number for QuickBooks, called that number. It was some Indian guy that I could barely understand. And so me and him are going around, he gets, they do what they call like screen mirroring type thing, where they're able to connect to your computer and then actually go through to see what the problems are. And he was basically telling me that we had corrupted files, this, that, and the other, that it was going to be $150 to fix that, $150 to fix this, then it was going to be $899 to get the QuickBooks upgrade. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going to do this. So I ended up going on QuickBooks website, getting on to their chat service and chat with an actual QuickBooks representative. And he walked me through everything, helped me download the upgraded version, QuickBooks Pro 2021. And the normal price for that is $299.99, which he actually knocked it down to $191.77, knocked $100 off of it for us. And now no more issues with QuickBooks. Once I was able to download that and get back into it, I was able to print checks, invoices, all that stuff like I normally am, and all without having to pay the nearly $1,200 that Indian gentleman was trying to tell me I was going to have to pay. Yeah, and I asked to speak to a supervisor. What's that?
Is that for a year?
Yeah, that's for a year, yes. But I'd asked to speak to that gentleman's supervisor, and he told me that they don't have supervisors. That's when I knew that something was up, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm just going to call somebody else. And we did take a look at the water meters around, to see which buildings are connected to what. And the cabins, they're all connected to the same meter. So if we were to, shut down ones that we weren't, like for instance, if we were to have the water department and shut those meters off, it would basically shut off the meters for all the cabins. But we do have actual shut-off valves for each cabin, so we can actually go through and whatever cabins we're not using, we can shut off the water ourselves, so that way nothing be used.
And those are done every year.
Right, and every winter, yeah, we do that.
You're shutting the cabins off, not the water.
Right, yeah,
You're paying that
exactly,
minimum.
correct, yes,
With Verizon.
yeah.
Where are we on the car counter?
Gary. Car counter?
Was that a takeaway for me?
Yeah.
Somebody was supposed to talk to? No,
You were
right.
supposed to find out about the car counter.
I thought Summersville,
Yeah, you had contacted somebody from Somersville about getting the car counter, and you said, you'd asked at the last meeting if how long we wanted it.
Yes, the layover part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's, NOAC, the city has one. I don't think we can do the whole summer. We can get a 30-day window and then get a second 30-day window.
Let's go 60 days.
It would be, they couldn't guarantee it concurrently, is the main thing. So you get 30, and then as long as it's available, you probably get another 30, but you might have to use it somewhere else to get another 30 days. Like I think you all talked about June and August or something like that, which we're already through June.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the first of
Get her
July?
started.
Huh?
Let's get her started.
All right, 1st of July.
Yeah. Valley Fest did call James a week or so ago. 2 weeks ago, and they are not coming this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So they didn't have enough time to.
to get everything ready.
Right, yeah, they said they were just too behind on the planning process, so.
But they're good for 20.
Yeah, they said 2022, they were definitely gonna do it.
We're still getting taken on that. I don't agree with it. They will. They walk off with $50,000 and we get 900.
No, they get more than that.
We get 8 or 9,000, I thought.
Yeah.
They give, this is the biggest fundraiser they have in the entire United States. What we're-
Really?
Yeah, right here in the sign.
So, I really don't have any board comments. I've basically filled everything in here. At president comments, is there any board comments? One other thing, there was an issue with the tractor.
Right.
With the starter,
I forgot that.
and it has been fixed, so it's working good, so.
What was the final with that old lawnmower?
Pardon me?
The final with the old lawnmower?
Were we able to do?
Were you able to sell it?
Yes, but he wasn't willing to go any higher than $250 though. I started at $350 and he said he couldn't go any higher than $250.
So it's
So
gone.
would that be okay?
Did you sell it?
He's already given me half the money, so.
Look, take the rest of it.
All right.
Run.
Another 125?
Fast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did have someone asking about an old mowing deck for the tractor that we don't use anymore. They were asking to buy it for about $200, $250. But I didn't want to, I'm not going to just go and, sell property without asking first. So I just wanted to bring that up and see if that would be
What
okay.
kind is it?
An old mowing deck that's down,
Right.
taking up space that we could use for other
Right.
stuff down there.
And it's not operable, but this gentleman wants to take it and rebuild it. And he said he'd be willing to pay $200, $250 for it, take it off our hands.
How long has this been used?
Mike said it's been at least 5 years.
Well, it's rusting down.
You better get rid of it.
Does it fit anything that we have on the park?
No,
It's probably one that we used to use
right,
prior to the one that we just replaced.
right.
It's not a tow behind
It,
deck?
yeah, it's a tow
Yeah,
behind
it's-
deck.
Yes.
Tow behind. So you could hook that up on my mower, maybe.
Well, it's down there.
I got enough junk floating around. For the exact same reasons.
Okay,
Why not? It's the West Virginia thing to do, Gene.
all right, any other comments? Questions?
So move.
Motion's on the floor to move to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. See you all next month.